Hello everybody, it's just Graham Keith here from The Great Wake Up. Thanks for watching this video. Now in this video what we're going to do is we're going to continue on our manifestation series. Basically the whole reason for my life changing forever from nothing to having everything in alignment, having a passion, purpose, riches, love, and a daily focus where I wake up every day knowing exactly what I'm here to do. I'm following my purpose, following my path, following my mission, in total love with life. And that all came from a life that I absolutely hated. So manifestation really is the key to change. How do we do that? We assume the wish fulfilled now. We must become the man, the woman, the boy, the girl, whoever, who has already achieved right now in this moment the materialization of what they wanted, their dream or goal. Now, manifestation is a woo-woo topic for a lot of people because a lot of people don't understand their true power. They're still running on the unconscious, on the illusion world, on false beliefs, on things that were taught by their mum, dad, friend, family, education. They're trapped in a box. They're in a box, okay? Now this box equals perception. So think of a horse in like a tunnel ready to run the race. The horse is trapped in the box. All the horse can see is what is in front, like that. Nothing around here, nothing up there, just purely what's in this box, right? Now that is what most of humanity is suffering from, but they don't know they're suffering from it because they were born into it and they believed it's real through perception and formed this worldview, this identity, this personam of who they think they are in this box. And they go through life not even realizing there's a world out there and a world out there. There. So how do we change our lives? How do we get what we want? Well, we touched upon that in the first video, and I will leave a link to that video, a pop-up at the end of this one on screen. We change our inner state. We assume, we presume that we have already achieved our goal and dream right now. We've already manifested it. It's already occurred in our lives. Energetically, how would that make you feel? So if you were looking for more money, purely and simply, do you think somebody who's rich worries about money? No, right? So if you want more money, or you're trying to manifest more money, or attempting to, both of those won't work because trying and attempting won't get you nowhere. You just have to be that state, be that state of the new man, woman with that prize, with that money. But it's this perception in the box that keeps us stuck. And we've got to understand that if we're manifesting anything, we have to look at first, how would that person who has it feel? So if it's money, if you want to manifest money, then how would a person with all the money in the world feel with all the money in the world? Well, they'd be calm, they'd be peaceful, there'd be an inner smile, there'd be no shouting from the rooftops, there'd be an inner glow, there'd be a happiness, there'd be a contentment, there'd be a security. So in other words, that's who you need to be now. And then as soon as you do that, you're immediately on the frequency of that. Then you become a match to what you want and who you're being. Now, in this perception state, without manifesting your inner consciousness to be where you are with the wish fulfilled, then you're going to be in this perceptional state where you don't know that you don't know. And you don't even know that you create worlds from the inside of yourself. So you're just going to be externalizing everything, trying to go out and earn more money, get more jobs, do more work, burn yourself out, get frustrated. Hamster wheel. Same as rich people in business. They've created a business, but they've created a hamster wheel. They've created a high-paying job, which is the very thing that they wanted to escape from, because they approach from the old persona. So how do you have a conversation with yourself as if you've achieved the dream or goal? Well, look at money for the example again. What would a multi-millionaire be feeling? They'd either be confident or calm, or a mixture of both. They won't be fretting about money. They won't be worrying about bills. They won't be panicking as to when it's going to come. They know it's already there. They know they already have it. They know they can pay whatever they want. They know they can buy whatever they want. And that's all you've got to do to get from the desired state to the actual state. You've got to become a match to the state. And that's quite ironic, isn't it? Because that's what God told us. You know, essentially, we've got to be it. And that's our God-given energetical gift from the Creator. We're in line with the Creator. And we're essentially a creator of our own right. So we know that in order to manifest, we're tuned to the state of the wish fulfilled now. We must become that person, that man, that woman who has achieved it. But it involves some work, because you've got to understand, what would they be feeling, doing and behaving like? And that's what you've got to feel, do and behave like now. And then all your things will come up. Oh, I'm not good enough. I don't have this. I can't do that. This will never work. Blah, blah, all the doubts. And that's where you go back straight away to assume the wish fulfilled. You acknowledge it, forgive yourself, straight back to the assumption of the wish fulfilled. So the inner conversations that you're going to have with yourself, or you're going to have with yourself on a manifestational journey, is you just put yourself where you want to be, and then assume the state of the wish fulfilled and behave as somebody with what you want has already. And how would they behave? So if you want love, then you'd be a loving person, because you want to be the like that attracts the like. Yeah, again, if you want to be wealthy, which you are already, you would assume the state of that man or woman with that life that they're living, in wealth, luxury, opulence, affluence, all of that. If it doesn't matter what the topic is, it's the same thing. And then when your mind kicks in, acknowledge, revert, back to the state of the wish fulfilled. And that's all we're doing. But it's in the moments where we drift into unconsciousness, they're the real powerful ones, where we just relax. We've still got to be on guard, because when our unconscious serves us up a lemon, we need to acknowledge the lemon, accept it, forgive it and let it go. And then, as they keep repeating, they're coming up to be healed. They're coming up to be quelled. They're coming up to be, the fire is going to be put out gradually. And your subconscious will start mirroring and mimicking your inner state. So your subconscious will become tranquil, calm, like a sea, just calm. And that is when you know you've arrived, where you can literally be in any state, any position, anywhere on earth, and have that fundamental, energetical, solid calm running through your being. Energy systems calm. because that is the state as to where there's no internal or external noise, confusion, doubts, vibrational misalignment and disharmony. It just is. You're just still. You just know. That's the being state achieved, where it doesn't matter where you are on the external, because it matters where you are on the internal, because that's what's manifesting the external, you see. So in a conversation of somebody who's manifesting their desire, if it's money, you don't have conversations about money, because money is there. You can do, be, have, pay, whatever you like. Why would you need a conversation about money when you're already rich? Why? Why would you need that? You're in line with it. There's nothing more to say, right? Now, somebody who's trying to manifest, who's trying to reach, to achieve that, would have a completely different conversation. And they would be having conversations. They'd be saying things such as, why isn't it arrived yet? Where's my money? Is this true? Is it going to work? Is this a load of nonsense? Yeah. Or all the money in the world is mine, and they don't believe it. Or all the money in the world comes to me from many different sources without my knowledge or consent, whatever it is. They don't believe it. That's the fundamental shift. The very first thing you must do before you start having any conversations or how to have internal conversations with yourself is you must be coming from the correct vibrational set point of the dream of the wish fulfilled, or the goal that you have already materialized and completed. That's the fundamental step. Energetically within your being, you have got to literally move yourself to the position of achieving what you want to achieve now, before you do anything else, before you tap, before you start tapping, before you start doing gratitude journals and vision boards and Reiki and all of this stuff. No, none of that. The first thing you need to do is move to the assumed state of the wish fulfilled in your being and stay there. The conversations that we have are really important. Remember when my mum used to sit and talk to herself? I used to look at her and go and thought, but now I understand. And my mum didn't even know what she was doing, more than likely. But it's these inner conversations with ourselves, the ones we have when we're alone at 2 o'clock in the morning, or the ones we have when no one's watching, or the real conversations we say to ourselves when our manifestation's taken time to come. It's those quiet moments, the private one-on-one moments that you have with yourself that will detect and depict the real inner conversations that you're having with yourself. And that's where awareness comes in, because it's okay to have negative conversation, or it's okay to have conversation that goes against the dream of the wish fulfilled and the inner manifestational state achieved. It's okay. It's actually vital to have those conversations with yourself on a manifestation journey. Because if you don't, you can never bring up the areas to heal so that you can be in vibrational alignment. In other words, so you can be in line with what you want to receive. So it's critically important that you are aware of what is going on inside of you, what thoughts you're thinking, what things you're about to say before you say them. Because the conversation will be totally different. Someone who knows the state of someone who has achieved what they want is completely different to a state of somebody who is on the way to trying, attempting, which in brackets means failing, until they become aware that their inner state didn't shift first. But that's all it is. So you've got to monitor the conversations that you're having with yourself. Be aware of it. Allow them to come, let them go. Forgive them if they're negative. Go back to the assumption or the state of being of the dream of the wish fulfilled right now. And it's fabulous because that's what manifested me, my Range Rover. That's what manifested me. I mean, look, material things are relevant, but it could be a bottle of Coca-Cola. Could be a bottle. We're manifesting a bottle of Coca-Cola. Yeah. Doesn't matter what it is. It's the process and the principle and the energetical methodology of how you manifest. You take yourself where you are, you literally place yourself where you want to be. And this guy doesn't exist, but occasionally this guy will pop up and spit out the unconscious thoughts that go against us. They come up for healing, perfect. We resume the state of the wish fulfilled, sit in that, and the conversations, if any, will be one of, it's so beautiful to have achieved my dream. Am I blessed? Yes, I'm blessed to have achieved my goal. I have absolutely no need to converse about money, for I am secure, safe, and unlimitedly abundant. Or if it's love, I am the perfect man for the perfect girl who's on the way to find me right now. Or the girl of my dreams is here, or is marrying me next year, right? Or it doesn't matter, whatever state, whatever conversation you want to have, whatever manifestation you want to achieve, and that you are achieving by becoming that manifestation, by becoming that individual. But the conversation is so important. So imagine I give you £100 million now. You'd probably fall off your chair. You'd be in awe, you'd be in shock, you'd be in tears probably. But how would you feel? Under it all, yeah, under the emotion and all of that stuff, you'd be going insane with joy. But it's the level behind that we're talking about. The level behind that. What would be the foundation within you once you've achieved your goal? Well, you'd be literally secure, safe, completely energetically and nervous system balanced, totally de-stressed. You might be able to breathe for the first time and purely feel it. Yeah. That's the conversation I'm talking about. You must go into that conversation where you know you're safe, supported, secure, fulfilled, complete, whole, and grateful to God for one, Him enabling the power and activating it within you to remember you can create your own reality. And obviously, two, yourself. Because you've done the work. The work is simple. In reality, and it's the mental noise that takes it out of alignment when the truth is that God written our story before we were even born. So He's up there smiling, watching us. Just like somebody who has already manifested what you want, watching you like fail and fluff up and get agitated and have mental breakdown and cry and all this. You've never done it. I've done that. And all that time, while I was having my little mini meltdowns and breakdowns and frustrations, I was watching my mentor and she was just completely still, totally and utterly energetically still, totally. And I took that as, well, don't you care? But hang on a minute, I was completely wrong. Because what she was showing me was the mirror. I was all over here in a mess. She was completely showing me, look, all along. There's me. She's showing me all along. Still, calm, tranquil, balanced, powerful. Versus this guy, the try and a manifest guy. Okay. So treat your conversations like this. Go to the place where you've already achieved the wish fulfilled. You've assumed the state in your being and you're being it now. Everything you want is here. It's done. That is your energetical starting point. Then your conversations. How would somebody who's achieved what you want to achieve talk to themselves? How would they be psychologically? Would they be like this, balanced, calm, strong, or a quivering wreck like this? Because that's the signal you're sending out. Think about this being you and being the ground and the sky and a connection to source. That's a direct connection. Look at that. Dead straight. Direct connection. Imagine like a beam coming down. Direct. This one, it's like having a faulty wire in your plug. The connection's going to be unstable. Everything's going to be moving around. Mixed messages to the universe. Oh, can't do this. Oh. Okay. So this is what I'm trying to get you to understand here. All of the work in order to manifest comes really before you do anything. You've got to assume the state of the wish fulfilled now. From that state. Then the mental noise comes up. Let it come up. Allow it to come up. Welcome it. Accept it. Forgive it. Let it go. Return back to the state fulfilled. What conversations would you have with yourself in quiet times? Those conversations, the inner noise. You don't actually have to speak it. It's what's going on. What are you thinking on the inside in those quiet moments? What are you non-verbally saying in your own head to yourself in those moments? The best analogy would be to just be completely still, balanced. Just be still. You can think what you like, but monitor it. Be still, be monitoring it, and return back to the state of the wish fulfilled. I can't do this. Thank you. Forgive it. Let it go. Return back to the state of the wish fulfilled. This is taking too long. Thank you. Forgive it. Let it go. Return back to the state of the wish fulfilled. This, not this. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, these are just they're really powerful manifesting tips and strategies, not just tips. These are fundamentally proven and are responsible for my manifestation journey and the successful manifestation of my life's desire, my life's dream as well. So these things are real. You're only going to find out stuff like this here on the Grey Wake Up because all of this information has been hidden from us all for centuries. And they really fear the day we find out and realize our own biblical spiritual power. Because that's who we are. So now you know who you are. It's good to know that. So go out there and apply these techniques. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Take care.